Good morning. Happy Friday, guys. It's Friday. Wake up with me, guys. I'm waking up too. We're going to wake up and talk about our mindset and that of being accountable for yourself. So, welcome, guys. I am Marlene. I'm the content creator for Living Your Best Life. And today we're going to do the topic of accountability. So, first off, what does it mean to be accountable? It means that we hold ourselves, you know, for whatever it is that you do. That means your actions, you are able to fess up, you're able to, stand in your truth and just say what it is. So there's no excuses, no nothing, no lies, no anything. Everything is just bare. So being accountable causes us to be humble. You have to be a humble person in order to be accountable because in reality most of us are not that we don't want to be accountable, but most people don't want to face the fact. Like, I'll just say some simple things. People will say, okay, I want to lose some weight, I want to travel, I want to get control of my debt, I want to do X, Y, and Z, I want to have these things. But when it comes to actually doing what you're supposed to do, how many people do it? How many people will show up in your life? Melinda, hi, good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. Happy Friday to you. Yes, so many people out there, they want different things for their life, but they do not want to be accountable for their actions. So many people will say they want to do something, but a whole nother thing comes when it causes you to actually do. It's the actions behind things. It's not just saying. It's so easy for you to say you want to do something, but it's a whole nother thing to hold yourself accountable, to be accountable for your actions, whatever it is that you're doing. Good morning, Angela. Happy Friday. I hope that you're feeling better. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, so many people, they want to, blame somebody else. There's always, pointing the finger method. But remember, when you point one finger at somebody else, you're pointing four back at yourself. So, it's just better for you. It's going to make you feel better about yourself. No excuses, no blaming anybody else. Well, we have to be responsible. As adults, we have to stand in our truth, because whether you want to or not, one day you're going to have to live with the repercussions of your actions. We can't continuously blame other people. We have to think of the question, at what point am I going to stand up for myself? At what point am I going to stand in my truth and be who I am supposed to be? If you're always blaming somebody else, there's always the blame game. It's my mother's fault, my father's fault, my sister, my cousin, my coworker, my spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. When are you actually going to be able to be who you're supposed to be? Because if we always are blaming somebody else, then what really is it that you are going to do? When you are able to stand in your truth, lay things bare, and just say, okay, this is what I need to work on, this is what I need to improve on, it shows how much personal growth that you have. And, within personal growth, here comes joy, here comes happiness, here comes love, light. So many things come up in us, bubble forth to the surface when we allow ourselves to be accountable, when we humble ourselves, when we start working on ourselves. There's therapy involved in there is therapy involved in working on yourself. It causes you to feel good about yourself. You get some things out of your mind, out of your heart, when you just say, okay, this is what happens. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to work on. And they become full of excuses about why they can't do what is expected from them. I know, Angela, but I just think that it's human nature. You can't make somebody do anything. You can't make anybody do anything, much less ourselves. If we want to be honest with ourselves, it's hard enough for us to want to motivate ourselves. That's hard enough, that is hard enough to be accountable for our own actions. And it's hard, it's tough. It's hard to look at yourself in the mirror and pick yourself apart, but it's necessary for personal growth. It's necessary so that you can feel good about you. Yeah, I understand that, Angela. I understand that. It can creep in, but that's why we have to constantly keep reaffirming, reassessing ourselves, our mind, our heart. It's a constant process. It's not something that you can just say, okay, I love myself. Okay, I'm accountable for my actions. Okay, X, Y, and Z. Every day, it is a process every single day for you to be accountable for your actions, to prove to yourself. It's every day, constantly, that you are reaffirming in yourself who you are. And that's why it's important for what you speak over yourself in your life. Every single day when you wake up, you need to reaffirm your love for yourself, your respect for yourself, where you have been, and not only that, where you're going. That's what's going to help you to keep continuously growing and having personal growth in your life. So, here are some of the things that I found from Sam Silverstein. And he says that accountability isn't a way of doing, it's a way of thinking. So, how do you hold yourself accountable when someone else can't? It's so important to hold yourself accountable. I believe it's about being accountable. So, accountability is keeping your commitments to people. You're responsible for things, but you're accountable to people. Whatever it is that you're doing in your life, school, work, being a housewife, a stay-at-home mother, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, you have to be the best at whatever it is that you do. Like, no excuses in that. You can't say, oh, I would do that, but I'm a student, or I'm just a stay-at-home mom, or I'm just this. No, whatever it is that you do, you have to live up to a high potential. Have a high regard for yourself. Believe in yourself that whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be the best at it. And that's so important. It's very important for us to be able to continuously keep reaffirming within ourselves who we are, how much we love ourselves, and then we just keep going and building on that. So, what are some of the questions that we could ask ourselves on how we can be accountable? What are your professional values? What do you expect as a level of expertise and professionalism? What are your values? What do you stand for? What is your character? How do you connect yourself and the people around you? What are your values? What do you believe is the way that you connect to the people you live with, the people who you serve, the people in your business? When you know what your values are and then you start living your values, then you'll discover you'll be able to start getting the stuff you want done. Because a person who is accountable is not a way of doing, it's a way of thinking. It's how you think about people. It's how you think about those commitments. It's in the unspoken commitments that you show who you are, because you have to take some time to define what your values are and then commit yourself to living those values. We have to commit to live to the values, and those are some things that are non-negotiable. The way you live, the way you treat yourself, your value system, your skill set, all of these things come to the core of who you are. So when you are responsible, when you commit to your values, when you keep your word, that's one thing that is so important, not only in business, but in life in general. You want to be known as a person who keeps their word. When you say that you're going to do something, do that. Yeah, right, Angela. Yeah, that's so important. It's so important to stand for what's right. And it's not easy, you know? It is not easy for us to do what's right. Sometimes it's so difficult because sometimes you're at a loss. It's much easier to tell a lie, to, be underhanded, to stab people in the back. But at the end of the day, you have to live with the consequences of those actions. When you do those wrongs, you draw in a different type of energy. And also, you cause people to not trust you. When you lose trust from others, it's something that can never be fixed. People may forgive you, but once the trust is lost, I don't think that is something that can ever come back. It's like a living thing, just like love. Love and trust is a living thing that when it's gone, it can't be regained. Can't regain trust, and you can't regain love once that love dies. So that's why it's so important for us to be accountable for our actions. And in being accountable, there's 15 ways that we can keep ourselves accountable. And the first one is to get in the right mindset. So before you start setting your goals, you have to know why. What is your why behind whatever it is that you're doing? When you know the reason behind it, when you know the background, when you know your foundation, what is making you do what you're doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you committing to doing what you want to do? When you know why, then it causes you to have sort of a fire underneath yourself. This is why I'm doing it. And that's how you can be accountable. If you don't know why you're doing something, then the flame goes out. You stop because you don't have any reason to keep going. Hey, Beverly. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming. And happy Friday to you. Yes, Angela, it is so hard to rebuild trust. And I'm speaking from personal experience and just being honest with myself. We've all done something at some point that we have lost trust from somebody else. And it not only hurts the person, that we offended, but also ourselves, because, you don't feel too good in yourself when you do something and you hurt somebody else. But the most important thing, that while you may not be able to regain your trust from that person, you can stop doing the action. You can stop doing whatever it is that caused you to lose trust in somebody else. Part of being accountable is realizing, that you make mistakes. We do wrong things sometimes, but don't make excuses. That's important for you to be able to grow as a man or a woman. Being accountable means that you not only respect yourself, but you respect others. That boy, that's a big thing in life. Not only to respect yourself, but to respect others. And when you respect others, that means that you're going to tell people the truth. You're going to be honest. You're going to keep your commitments. Whatever it is that you say you're going to do, you do it. And if you can't, you tell people. Don't just, don't ghost people. Don't not respond. Don't show up and think that that's okay, and then make excuses, like I hear all the time. I was tired or I was busy. We always want to make excuses when it's us. But boy, if somebody else did the same thing that you did, how would you feel? Would you feel good? Would you feel the same way? That's what I like to do before I do something. I always ask myself, okay, if I was the one to do what I'm about to do, how would I feel? We have to put the shoe on the other foot sometimes. Hi, Donnery. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming. Happy Friday to you. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you're well. Yes, we do. We have to be accountable for ourselves. So that's what the number one point was, to get your right mindset. We have to take some time for reflecting or journaling on why accomplishing a goal is important to you, and how can it make a difference in your life? What is whatever it is that you're about to do, whatever goal, whatever accomplishment that you're trying to make, what is it going to do in your life? You have to understand why, what, how, all of those questions is going to help you to keep going within your goals. That's what's going to put a fire underneath you. You have to know why. You have to know why, and you have to remind yourself of your why every single day. Number two, you have to prepare what you need in advance. You have to know who you are, okay? And when I say you have to know who you are, when you're making a goal, you can't just say, I want to do X, Y, and Z. You have to prepare how. We talked about why. We talked about, what. Now we're going to talk about how. If you are a person who's a morning person, or are you a person who's a night person, that's how you know when you should be doing things. You're never going to be successful at something if you always do things at the wrong time. Don't you say you're going to do something at 9 in the morning and you're not a morning person. You have to fix things according to who you are, according to your personality, according to how you know you're going to keep those commitments. It's going to be much easier for you to keep committed to something, to be responsible, to be accountable, because you're working within your personality. You're working within what you know that you can continue. If you know that you cannot handle a 9-to-5 job, then you're already sabotaging yourself. I know I'm a more of an evening person. So I'm more of a 3 to 11 person. I like to have my morning so that I can have my time to think and meditate. But you have to know yourself. So that means that you have to get yourself in that thinking. We have to continuously keep preparing our mind, keep realigning our focus. Hey, Sugar Love. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, LSP. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming. How are you? And happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Thanks, guys, for all the likes. So it's so important for us to keep ourselves accountable. And number two is prepare what you need in advance. So you have to prepare your mind. You have to prepare your thinking so that you can be able to keep going. So number three is get an accountability partner. We all know that if you have somebody who is like-minded, someone who is doing the same thing, or someone who has the same skill set, that's going to help you to keep going. And when you have somebody who holds you accountable and they tell, and they're going to check on you, okay, what's going on? Say you're on a weight loss journey, or you're trying to eliminate your debt, or you're working on whatever it is. Do you have somebody who holds you accountable and says, how's this going? When are you going to do this, this, and this? That's going to help you to keep going. It's going to keep encouraging you. It's going to keep you accountable. It's going to keep you, in the right mindset. Okay, I have to do this because remember, they're going to be checking on me. So make sure you get an accountability partner, somebody who is encouraging you, positive, somebody who is going to make you feel good about keep going. Get that accountability partner. It makes such a big difference. Hey, Verns, happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you guys. Yes. So let's get back to this. So the next one, number 4, is have a specific goals. It's so important to not only just making a goal, but it's having specific small goals. That means that you're going to not just talk about that one main goal, that one big goal, but have goals on a weekly basis. This is what I'm going to do this week. It helps you in the long run if you don't have these big goals that makes it seem unattainable, unrealistic. But if you have a bunch of small, specific goals, and when I say specific, I mean that you're going to say, this week I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And you work on those 3 things. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves. When it comes to being accountable for our actions, we have to set small, realistic goals. And then it makes you feel good because once you accomplish a small goal, then you get to the next one, you get to the next level. So that really helps a lot. Not only having an accountability partner, but also having specific goals for every single week. Cola, good morning. Hi, sis. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. We made it, guys. Yes, we made it to Friday. Yes, we have to set specific goals, and we have to set small goals as well. I think sometimes we want something so bad that we just make these humongous goals. And while that's good, that's important to make these big goals, but we have to set small, specific goals. Not only specific, but realistic. You don't want to set the bar so high that it is unattainable. Set realistic goals, set weekly goals, set daily goals, and make sure you hit those goals. And that's what's going to encourage you and motivate you to keep going. Sometimes we don't feel that we can keep going in whatever it is that we want to do because it seems so far away. It seems so far-fetched. There's no way I will ever be able to attain this. Hey, Okola says, getting ready to go to the doctor to check on my wrist. So you're running. I'm listening, sis. Thank you so much, Cola. I hope everything goes good with your wrist. Yes, Sugar Love. We have to be accountable. We have to make small, specific goals. We have to do daily goals. We have to do weekly goals. All of that is important. It's so important to do that. And that is going to encourage you. You have to keep encouraging yourself. Small, realistic goals. So another good thing is number 5, use an app to track your, whatever it is that you're doing. There are so many apps out there that will help you to be accountable for whatever you're doing, whether it be weight loss, keep getting your finances together, a saving for a trip, going on a trip, whatever it is that you are trying to target, whatever goal you're trying to reach. Use an app, and the app is going to help you to keep things on track. We have to be not only responsible, but we have to keep things organized. When you know not only what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, all of these things are going to help us. Sometimes that's the reason why we don't accomplish our goals. You can't accomplish your goals if you don't know why. What is the reason why you're doing what it is that you're doing? You have to know what it is that you're doing and do your research. What is it all about? You should know the background of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, not just throwing things out there. I want to do this. What are you trying to do? And you have to know how. How can you get to that level? How can you get to wherever it is you're going? You have to also remember, look at others, mentor other people who are already successful. That is so important to, not that you're trying to copy or duplicate what somebody else can do, because everybody is an individual, everybody is unique. But if you want to be successful, you can look at what they do. How do they, look at everything they do? When do they do things? How do they do it? How is X, Y, and Z? How do they accomplish it? All of those things are going to encourage you when you see someone else who's successful, who is already doing whatever it is that you want to do. That's how you keep going. You got to be accountable for your actions. So number 6, you want to plan like you're scheduling an appointment. So whatever it is that you're doing, you want to plan plan things like an appointment. So, okay, say you want to do something with your business. You want to schedule it just like it's an appointment. You remember, organization, you have to know how, you have to know why, and you have to know how can you plan it. You have to plan things. That's part of the goal set, the skill set, having the right mindset. All of it goes together. You have to know how you can accomplish what it is that you're doing. You have to make an appointment, put it in an app, and keep those commitments. That's so important, to keep the commitments. When you say you're going to do something, you have to keep it. Keep it. Let people trust you. When you say you're going to do something, don't just say that you're going to do something. You have to do it. Yes, Sugar Love. I'm gonna get to that point, but since you brought it up, I'm just going to say it as well. Yes, sometimes when you are trying to be accountable to yourself, some people hold us back. So many people can hold you back. And we have to stop making excuses for other people. When it comes to you, not anybody else, when it comes to you, you have to be serious about yourself. You have to be serious about your business. You have to remember, it's your business. This is your life. If you're not serious about it, who is going to? You gotta be serious about yourself. And that means that some people just aren't good for us in our life. Some people are, that's the reason why you're not accomplishing certain goals, because some people are holding you down. They're discouraging you. They're stopping you from making progress. Why? Because they are not making progress, because they only want you to help them. And that's not going to work in the long run. Sometimes you can help people for a while, but you have to allow people to help themselves. And you can enable others. You can love people, and part of loving other people is loving yourself. You got to put yourself on the table. You have to take care of you. And part of taking care of you is also analyzing, who are the people that I call friends? Who are the people that I call my family? Are they reasonable? Are they helping me? Are they encouraging me? Are they motivating me? All of this comes into you being accountable for yourself. All of it goes together. If you have people around you that are toxic, or especially if you have people around you who are users, manipulators, narcissists, all of that. If you have those type of people around you, it's your goals are going to be, put on hold, because they're just about themselves and they're only going to want you to focus on them. You got to take that light off of them and put the focus back on yourself. You have to stay focused. That's so important for you to be accountable for yourself. You have to focus. What is your focus? And when you know what your focus is, you know why you're focused, you have your foundation. That's the reason why some people, they fail before they even start, because they don't even know what their foundation is. They have no idea. What is it that they're doing? Why is it that they're doing what they're doing? You got to have to know your why. Why are you doing this? What causes you to do it? You have to know that. You have to know your foundation. Because the days when you're having a really bad day, when you're not feeling good about yourself, or when your finances aren't going the way you want it to go, that's what causes you to keep going. When you know why, you have to know the reason why it is behind what it is that you're doing, and that causes you to keep going. That's how you encourage yourself. This is what I want to do, and this is why I'm doing it. You have to know your why. Your why is what causes you to stay encouraged. We always can start something. Isn't that true? It's not that hard to start doing something, whatever it is that you want to do. But the continual process, continuing to not only be encouraged, but to stay encouraged, that's a whole nother ball game. How many times do we start a goal? We start to want to do something, but because of our why, we don't have our why fully grounded. You have to be grounded in it. Good morning, Paula. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for coming. We have to know why. We have to know why. What is your why behind what it is that you do? So many people out there don't have a why. They're just going through life. And that's the reason why people get discouraged along the way and give up. You're going to give up in your goal. You're going to give up because you don't have your why. Your why is the reason behind whatever it is you do. It's all about your why. Yes, Beverly, you have to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. And you can do that. You can stay encouraged by who you surround yourself by. If you have people around you that are doing things, it doesn't have to be the same things, but they're just going, they're doing their thing. That makes you feel good about keep going. But if you're around people who are lazy, just using you for whatever it is, using your ideas, your thoughts, using your time, using your body, manipulating you, using your finances, that's not going to help you. It's important to evaluate these things from time to time, not for the negative aspect, but for the positive aspect, because you have to constantly evaluate your life. And if your life is not going the way that you want it to go, it's for a reason. There's a reason behind everything. Sometimes things are not launching in your life. They're not launching and taking off because you have not made your foundation strong. We have to make our foundation strong for whatever it is that we're doing. You have to make your foundation strong, and that means your why has to be firmly grounded. You have to write that down on paper. You have to be able to put it up so you can see, have a picture, have something that causes you to be able to think. Now, you look at that, you remind yourself, you read it. All of these things are reaffirming these thoughts in your mind. It's the visualization of what it is that you're doing, you reaffirming in your mind why it is that you're doing. You have it on paper how you're going to accomplish whatever it is that you want to do. And then it takes you putting it into action. This is where most people fall short. They can see themselves in their future life doing whatever it is that they want to do. They can see it. They visualize it. They see it. They put themselves around the best mentors. They have great accountability partners. But then this is where most people fail. It's in the action. We can have everything to be successful, but if you don't practice it, thank you so much, Cola. But if you don't practice it, that's the end of it. We have to practice, what we preach. We have to say, and then we have to do. It doesn't really matter if we always say we're going to do something. It's about what are you doing? What is the action behind what it is that you say? And we have to also realize that sometimes our the way that we planned it is not going the right way. And it just causes us to maybe make some readjustments. Maybe it's not fine-tuned enough. Maybe it's not specific enough. We have to always work on that as well. In our goals, we have to be specific, not just say we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We have to say how we're going to do it. What is the time? How long is it going to take us to do it? Who is going to be there? What is it going to look like? Anna, let's be honest. How much money are you going to make? All of those things are specific ways that we can see ourselves. Yes, Sugar Love. Listen, so many people, they look at other people who are successful. They emulate them and they say, oh my goodness, I just wish I could even do a little bit of what they do. But they will not put any of the actions behind it. Remember, you have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And what I mean by that is we have to get uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to lower our fears and our doubts. We're just human, and we think sometimes we look at ourselves, and not that you don't have enough self-value or self-worth, but you doubt your ability sometimes. I wonder if I can do that. But it's just because you have not laid your foundation strongly. You have to lay your foundation strong. You have to know how you're going to do whatever it is that you want to do. When you know your how, your what, your why, it will change everything. It will change everything. You have to do what it takes to be successful. Not only following, the accountability, but you have to be persistent and consistent. is something that I learned from Boss Life Online. Persistent and consistent. We have to always consistently do something. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to do this today, and then you don't do that for another 2 or 3 weeks. And then you wonder why it is that you cannot get whatever it is that you want to do. You have to be consistent, not just, okay, I'll do this today, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, okay, maybe I'll try again today. Yes, fear is a block from those talents to move forward. Yeah, that's why we have to also acknowledge those fears as well, Paula. We have to acknowledge our fears, and we have to lay that, in front of us. We have to also lay that in front of God. He wants us to be able to just be honest with ourselves. Just be honest and let him know we need you. We need our help. Some things we just cannot do by ourselves. Hey, Short Bus, welcome. Good morning and happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for coming. And Beverly Black says she works better by herself. And that's good that you know that, Beverly. Some people, like Beverly, they work better by themselves. I think I'm a combination. I think it depends on what it is that I'm doing. There's some things I do better by myself. Like I know that I'm a person that I am better at motivating myself or doing motivational things by myself. But I don't mind working with other people. I don't mind helping other people to not only get motivated, but to stay motivated. But motivation is my thing. And that's true what Beverly says, that she works better by herself. So you have to know yourself. You have to know your skill set. You have to know how you work, how you tick. And, growing up, that is not something that is taught in school. It's not taught in school how to, be in business. It's not taught how to take care of your money and your finances. It's not taught how to forgive and to love people. It's not taught how to certain things in life. You just learn, sometimes you hit your head against the wall. Sometimes you keep making mistakes until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you start doing right. But some things is just you learn from the school of hard knocks. And I do wish that finance was taught in school, self-love, learning to start a business. There's certain things that should be taught in school because look at it. Just be honest. By the time you leave high school, what is it that you really know about yourself and what you want to do? So you go to college and that still doesn't teach you to have certain business thinking, how to handle money, how to be a good communicator, how to work on yourself. I do think before people leave high school, you should learn how to love yourself, learn to respect yourself, learn to know your own value. That is so important, to learn your own value. And when you know your own value, you don't have to depend on other people. You don't have to look at other people and be fearful for what somebody else has. That doesn't matter because you're in your own lane and you're working on your own goals and your own grind. Yes, Sugar Love, you can't be afraid of the unknown, because it's in the unknown that you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something. You're going to grow. You're going to something. You're going to improve. There's something always in the unknown. So when you step, I don't even like to say outside of the box, because I don't think you should ever be in a box. But in different thinking, in having a positive mindset, in getting rid of your fears and your doubts, and just standing in your personal truth, loving yourself, respecting yourself, encouraging yourself, and knowing that you can do anything that you put your mind to. When you know that, then you can move forward, put your mind to it, be accountable, do the right thing, and trust in, trust in that you have the ability to do things. And sometimes we don't encourage ourselves enough. When we hit a roadblock, when times get hard, we get discouraged and we give up. But as soon as you hit a roadblock, that's when it shows how much you want to do something. How much do you want it? How much is this for you? How much is this for me to receive? Because if we just give up when times get hard, when we give up when we get distracted or when we're fearful. If you're not fearful of the future, then your goal isn't big enough. You should never be comfortable in whatever it is that you're doing. You should always be trying to get to the next level, improve, be a better person. Always have a goal. Always have a goal. Always be working towards something bigger and better. Always. And don't let anybody stop you from what it is that you want to do. I hate to say it, but sometimes your own people are the people who get you sidetracked, are the same people that will tell you they love you, but at the same time, stab you in the back. That's just what it is. And you just have to recognize it and you have to move past that and you have to move forward. Because just because somebody is related to you by blood, that doesn't mean that that's who you need to have in your life. Sometimes you got to move outside of the box and find somebody on the outside. Sometimes an outsider is the person that you need. That's the person that you need to get you to that next level. Because listen, if the people who were your own blood would only support you, boy, you could go so far. There could be so much potential. But just because somebody's related to you by blood does not mean that's who you need to have in your life to get you to that next level. It's somebody on the outside that's going to get you there. So stop looking to people in your own family or people who are your supposed friends, thinking they're the people who are going to help you. Look to somebody else. Don't always sit and wait for that support. Sit and wait for them to be there for you. Sit and wait for them to encourage you. No, you have to encourage yourself. Encourage yourself and keep going in that. Others want to take the credit for what you worked hard to get and use you to get where they want to go. I am over that. God shows me some people to watch out for. I understand, Beverly. Yes, I always think it's important to acknowledge and give people credit. Anybody who is helping you, anybody who is supporting you, don't hold back from give people their accolades. Give people, respect others. When you respect others, that means you respect yourself. So it gives you some eye-opening moments sometimes. If somebody does something to you, don't just put on your blinders and let people keep taking advantage of you. Don't let people use you. Do not let people use you. It's not worth it. Some people are showing you something so that you can know, okay, watch out for them. Watch out for them. Yes, sure, boss. Yeah, you have to watch out for them. And that's why I always say it's important also to learn to walk in silence. We have to learn to, I think I'm the type of person, I'm just speaking from personal experience. I'm the type of person that I get excited about things and I want to tell other people. But when you tell somebody else your hopes and your dreams, that's when you allow room. You allow room for the devil. You allow room for people to discourage you. But you have to walk in silence sometimes, because if you don't tell people what you're doing, then they can't know. They can't discourage you. You have to walk in silence. Walk in silence, my brothers and sisters. Walk in silence. Because if people don't know what you're doing, they can't discourage you. When you're just walking in faith, You're just walking in your faith. I'm going to be doing this. This is what I'm doing. And you're just going to keep going steady, steady, steady. Being courageous, being brave, even when you hit a wall, no matter what it is. Don't give up. Do not give up. Whatever that is for you, and nobody can stop that. But we have to learn to stop telling people our business. That was one of the shorts that I just did. You have to stop telling people your business. If people don't know, they can't talk. So you have to be careful about who you choose to tell the things that's in your heart, the things that are your goals. Walk in silence, my brothers and sisters. Walk in silence and encourage yourself. Encourage yourself constantly. We have to keep our own self motivated. We have to keep our own self encouraged, because if we don't stay encouraged, then you give up. Then you give up. And giving up is not an option. That's one of my favorite sayings that my mom used to say. Giving up is not an option. If your only option is success, if your only option is, just growing, having your growth potential, you have to keep going. You have to go through fear. You have to go through doubt. You have to go through the times where you just don't want to. You have to dismiss all of that. Keep going. Go through fear, go through doubt, go through lack of support, not having the money, hitting roadblocks. It just shows that you really want this. You show that it's really for you, because people who don't want something, they give up. They give up. And if something is for you, you're going to keep going until you get whatever it is that you want. It's always a personal choice. How your life is going is dependent on you. If you want something to happen, you have to make it happen. You can't sit and wait. You can't sit and wait for other people to make things happen. You have to make it happen. Thank you so much, Paula. Have a great day. Yes, you have to keep going, Sugar Love. You have to keep going. And I think that that's something that it's not something learned. It's part of the school of hard knocks. After you don't get the support you want, people talk about you behind your back. People talk about you in front of your face. And especially it's the people that you thought were going to support you. You thought they were the people who were going to be there for you. But you have to remember, you don't always need anybody. You don't need anybody. Remember, you came into this world alone. You came into this world alone. You didn't come into this world with somebody else. You came into this world alone. So that means you have the potential to do whatever it is that you want to do. So you got to be accountable for your own self. Whatever is not happening in your life, make it happen. You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. And if it's not happening, you have to ask yourself why. Why is it that I am not getting to where I want to go? Are you not working hard at it enough? You have to put in the work. You have to put in the grind, the hustle, whatever it is that you want to call it. You have to do all of the behind the scenes work. Everything. People can only see you when you become successful, but they don't know all of the things that happen to you behind the scenes, about all the late nights, all the times where you were afraid, but you did things anyways, when you use your last dime in order to get something that you needed in order for you to be successful, the time where you were out on a limb by yourself and you had no one to support you. People don't know about all those things when it comes to success. People only see the success when when it's visible, when they can see the visualization of it, when it comes to fruition. People only see that. They don't see everything that it took for you to be able to get whatever it is that you have right now. Hello, Dominant Man. Welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for coming. When you really want something, when something is your goal, when something is your motivation, when it wakes you up in the morning, I want to speak on that for a moment. If you really want something, if something is, if it wakes you up in the morning, it's the first thing you think about when you wake up, it's the last thing you think about before you go to bed, that is what you need to be doing. That right there. And most people don't listen to the voice, inside their own head. Dominant Man, this is an audio only live stream. Thank you, Beverly. Have a great day. We have to listen to the voice. We have to listen to our own voice when it's telling us to keep going. When it's telling us to keep going, we have to listen to that voice. Even if other people don't support you, even if somebody else does not encourage you, you have to listen to that voice. You have to listen to that voice, and you have to strengthen that voice when it tells you, you got this. It's so important for us to encourage ourselves and not look to other people to encourage us. I know I've done it so many times. You're waiting for other people to support you. You're waiting for other people to believe in you, but they have already shown you. They've already shown you who they are. They've already shown you what they want to do. They've already shown you that they don't care to be there for you. They don't care to support you. They don't care to encourage you. They don't care to listen to you. They don't care to love you. They've already shown you that. They've already shown you that. And we have to stop waiting for people to support us because they may not be the right person for us. We have to realize that. It's sometimes a hard pill to swallow that the people that we want to be there for us just will not be. We have to realize that as well. Everybody who we want to support us is not going to support us. The ones that we want to love us do not love us. And that's okay, because you have everything that you need within yourself, and you have to strengthen that. Learn to pull down from deep within yourself. Realize and actualize your own potential, your own self-love. You are somebody. Yes. You're right, Sugar Love. You have to, so that you can move forward. You do. You have to be willing to tell yourself. And it's so important to realize that, you got to forgive yourself and stop, staying still in that. Always beating yourself up. Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. And why did I do this? And why did I do that? If you stay in the past, that's just what it is. You can't stay in the past. You have to live in the present. You have to live in the present. Thank you so much, Angela. Have a great day. Yes, you have to be willing. You must be willing to love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to forgive yourself. And in forgiveness is where you're going to have the peace of mind. And that peace of mind is such a big thing. It's such a big thing for us to forgive ourselves, to let things go. We can't keep beating up ourselves for the past. Whatever happened in the past, we have to leave that there. Leave it in the past. Leave it in the past and let it go. That's just what it is. right? Or are you waiting on validation from someone? Listen, Cola, I've spent so many years being honest with myself. I spent so many years waiting for people in my own family to validate me, to support me, to love me, and they just don't. If somebody is going to do something, you don't have to tell them, love me, do this, especially if you have told somebody what you want, what your expectations are, what you need from them, and they just don't. That means that they don't want to. You can't make somebody support you. You can't make somebody love you. You can't make somebody do the right thing. You can't make anybody do anything, much less ourselves. We have a hard enough time loving ourselves. We have a hard enough time supporting ourselves. We have a hard enough time doing that for ourselves, much less worrying about somebody else. We have to start drawing in the people and caring about the people who really do love us. Focus our love on that. Focus yourself on whatever it is that's right for you. That's where you have to focus. You got to focus yourself on that. Don't worry about the people who don't support you because they're irrelevant to your prosperity in your life. Some people you just have to leave behind. You have to leave them behind. You really do. And yeah, it'll hurt. It'll hurt sometimes if you want to hang around with certain people. You want to do whatever it is. You want to have certain people in your life because you love them and you care about them. But part of loving yourself is learning that sometimes it's just time for you to let certain people go. You have to love yourself more than you love others. And that can be a struggle sometimes. It can be a struggle to let certain people go. But if they are not conducive to your encouragement and your upliftment, you got to pull back. You have to pull back from those type of people. You have to pull back from anybody who doesn't support you. If they don't support you now in your struggle, why should you have them around in your success? I had to tell myself that one day. I did. I had to tell myself that one day. Why am I waiting for this person to support me? Why am I waiting for this person to love me? Why wait? You're holding yourself back. You are holding yourself back. A lot of times we want to blame other people for why things aren't happening to us in our life. You know, we want to blame other people, but it's a whole nother thing. Be accountable to yourselves. We sometimes are bringing in that negativity from others because we're standing still and waiting for them. Don't stand still. Don't wait for other people. You can't. You can't wait for somebody else so that you can accomplish your goal. What is meant for you is meant for you. So you have to move forward in that. You have to move forward in that. If you're always waiting for somebody else to validate you, when are you ever going to accomplish a goal? You can't. So, number 7, you have to reward yourself for reaching some small goals. We talked about the why and the foundation and your how and all of that. So, when you are making your goals, once you achieve a small goal, celebrate it. Celebrate it. That's how you keep going in your goals. You got to encourage your mind. You have to reward yourself. Remember, you're not a robot. We're human beings. We have feelings. You also need a time to refresh. Have some recreation. Have some fun time. So don't always just have your goals and just you're going, you're always working. You got to have some downtime. Have some time to refresh your mind, your heart, and your spirits. And take care of yourself. A lot of times when you're trying to get to a goal and accomplish something, you kind of let some things go. Make sure that you take care of yourself. You're practicing some self love. And it means different things for different people because everybody doesn't like to do the same things for themselves. But respect yourself enough to have a healthy diet. You're taking care of yourself physically, you're taking care of yourself emotionally. You're taking some time to be in your spirit and get your thoughts and your mind together. All of those things are important because that's how you regenerate and refuel yourself for whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish. You have to refresh yourself. So, number 9, you got to journal your progress. Whatever it is that you want to do, journal it. And you got to talk to yourself. Talk to yourself and encourage yourself in that. So, whatever it is that you're thinking, you got to get the things that is in your mind out. Get it all out. And you would be surprised sometimes the ideas that you can come up with when you just start taking some notes. And it does not have to be on pen and paper. It can be in your phone, in your tablet, in your laptop. But get the thoughts that you have in your mind and get it out. Part of being accountable is finding out how. How are you going to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do? And that means writing things down. What is it going to take? Who do I have to be around? How much money is it going to take for me to accomplish it? So you got to be specific in those goals. So number 10, this is important, guys. Have a plan B. Your plan B is so important. We got to have a plan B. If you're only working on your plan A, and then what happens if your plan A fails? Then what do you do? Always have a backup plan. I would say even have a plan C. You got to have different ways of making sure that you constantly regenerate. If you don't want to just have one goal and then if that fails, or for some reason something else and you can't do it, or for lack of a better word, something happens to you and you don't know how you're going to be able to keep your income. Do you have an income coming in that will constantly go into your bank account, even if it's a small little thing? It's really important, guys, to have different streams of income. So if one income fails, you got another income coming in. I do believe in this multiple streams of income. Make sure you get yourself together, because that's the reason why people go to these places like payday loans and all different kinds of things, because you don't have your plan B and your plan C together. If your A is not working, just go to plan B, go to C, whatever it is, but you got to have a backup plan. That's what's going to help you to stay on track. Number 11, it's not for everyone, but create a vision board. It works for some people. Some people are not the visual people, but I'm speaking to my visual people. Create a vision board. Some people, seeing yourself with images and words in whatever it is that you want to do, will encourage you and motivate you. Come up with it. Make it be something that's going to make you feel good every time you look at it. Have pictures in it. In your doing whatever it is that you want to do, you have to see yourself wherever you're going. If you don't see yourself where you're going to stay stuck. So you got to visualize yourself there. So number 12, find ways to stick to your goals that are enjoyable for you. You can't just keep, on a strict thing. It has to be enjoyable. How can you do whatever it is that you want to do, but make it enjoyable? Make it be fun. Have a good time. That's what gives you longevity in whatever it is that you want to do in your life. You're happy doing it. You enjoy it. It makes you happy. You feel fulfilled. Don't forget that. We have to remember that always. Always enjoy and love what you do. If you don't love what you do, then you need to rethink that. Number 13, build your own habits. It takes 22 days to create a habit. 22 days. So after you are doing something for 22 days, it's a whole different mind shift, a whole different thinking. So you have to think about little habits that you could make to help yourself to achieve your goals. What about uninterrupted phone time every day? Going to bed an hour earlier. Would it help you to wake up earlier? Accomplish certain things. We have to make commitments to building smaller habits that will help you to get to your big goals. So make sure you're getting your sleep, you're eating well. All of that goes to you being able to accomplish things, because if you're not physically strong, you're not going to be emotionally strong. Number 14, read and listen to something positive every day. Remember that, your thoughts become your actions. So if you don't have some positive thinking, some positive things behind whatever it is that you want to do, if you don't have something that you reaffirm in your mind, your purposes, your goal, your skill set, your mindset, then you're going to give up. That's how you get discouraged, because you're not encouraging yourself. You have to encourage your mind. And that's why it's important what you look at, what you choose to be entertained by, the things that you read, the people that you hang around with. All of that comes to making you who you are. That's how you achieve your goals and you reach them. Number 15, this is the last one, guys. Look for the small victories every day. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you accomplish a small goal, a small victory, let it be a victory. Make yourself feel good about that. Feel accomplished that you did something. Don't just keep going. Encourage yourself. Congratulate yourself. Motivate yourself. All of that will help you to stay accountable, and it will help you to stay encouraged. So I thank everybody who came to the stream today. I hope you found something that will help you to be accountable. Keep going, guys. That's so important. Be encouraged. Stay encouraged. Be around positive people. Emulate successful people. Know your why. What is your foundation behind whatever it is that you want to do? What is your why? Why are you doing whatever it is that you want to do? You have to define that first and make your foundation strong. Once your foundation is strong and you know why it is that you want to accomplish whatever it is, that's what's going to give you the energy and the motivation to keep going when you hit a roadblock. And another important thing is to not look for support from people who don't support you. They don't matter. Whoever doesn't support you is for a reason. Remember, you came into this world alone. You don't need anybody. Look to the people who are supporting you and forget the people who don't. Focus on the people who care about you. Focus on the people who ask you how things are going, if you're okay. That's where you need to focus your energy, your love, and your light into that. Keep your head up. There's a lot of things out there, distractions, people saying mean things. So much stuff can get you, wrapped up in that snowball effect of making you get discouraged. But keep your head up. No matter what it is, no matter what it is that you want to do, you can do it. You can do it. Keep believing in yourself. And remember, like I always say, guys, not just know it, just breathe it and be it. But you got to live your best life. And sometimes that means reevaluating who you call your friend, even in your family. Some people just aren't good for you. Some people are just toxic. And you got to remove the toxic so that you can be uplifted. So get focused, be encouraged, and be accountable for your own self. Be accountable for your own actions and keep loving yourself every day. Why? Because you matter, because you are worthy, because you're deserving. You're deserving of the abundance. And don't look to anybody else to have the abundant mindset and thinking. You have to put that within yourself. So I thank everybody for coming to the stream today. I hope you found something that was encouraging. And those who watched me on the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys and look forward to the premiere. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to meet my nephew dog. I'm Marlene, and I am the content creator for Living Your Best Life. And on this channel, I have positive, motivating, encouraging, and life lessons. I have vlogs, story times, Relationship Thursday, and on Sunday, I have the Sunday Talk Show where I interview other YouTubers, business persons, and I have topics of life lessons. So I encourage you to be there every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next stream.